Shouldn't Marxism be treated the same way Nazism is treated in academia and elsewhere? Shouldn't funding violent revolutionaries be treated the same as funding terrorists and those assets seized? Wouldn't those two changes end all of this?
No. So first of all, I hate this because I don't want to be defending communism. I will make the same point that always gets me in trouble, which is that there is a critique inside of Marxism, which is not so easy to dismiss. There is a plan, which is crazy, that we know doesn't work. And I would argue that actually somehow in this discussion, we are missing the central fact, which is that the world's most boring conversation, which is about whether or not group selection is an important evolutionary force, is the key to understanding why Marxism, when translated into communism, does not work. So somehow we are going to have to get up to speed on why this plan, every time it evolves, and it doesn't have to come from Marx. You can have people reinvent the plan and decide, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we all pointed in the same direction, redistributed everything? That plan is not going to work. But I tell you what, I'll give you something tantalizing.
Ooh.
The body is communist. The body is communist in the following sense. From each, according to his ability.
The human body.
Everybody.
Okay, this isn't a political statement you're making.
Nope.
This is an anatomical and physiological statement. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, go.
From each according to his ability to each according to his need. That's how the body works, right?
Okay.
Why does it work?
Yep.
Because all the cells have the same genome. They have no reason to disagree over this plan, right? So the point is, altruism is built into the way you structure it. Why won't that work with people? Because our genomes aren't the same.
Until a forest is not communist. A tree is communist, but a forest is not.
Correct. So if you understand that, then the point is, listen, you communists, you've missed this important biological fact. Do you want to get us to all point in the same direction? Do you want well-being to be widely distributed? The answer to how you do that is through enlightened self-interest and cooperation. It is possible. It is possible to build that system, but it will not be communist. That's not how you will get there. That thing is unstable. And the reason that you get gulags and other forms of oppression traveling in tandem with this mode is that the failure of it to work forces you to re-incentivize things for people. In other words, what causes people to behave in a communist way is the threat of death or being imprisoned and all that stuff. We don't need to go down this road. We've discovered it already many times over. Let's not rediscover it. Do you want to redistribute opportunity? I'm all for redistributing opportunity, right? But if you get stuck in the redistributing wealth conversation, you're never going to get there, right? Opportunity should be broadly distributed. Any honest capitalist should tell you that, right? They want opportunity broadly distributed if they're honest, because that's the way the maximum amount of good stuff gets done, right? When you have people sidelined, people who have incredible capacity, and they're sidelined cleaning somebody's toilet, that's a waste. That's somebody who might have invented something awesome, who's doing something that, a robot should do, right? So distributing opportunity broadly, great. But let's build it on a foundation that makes some sense, and that involves known things, right? Cooperation that is based on enlightened self-interest.
So one of the key misunderstandings then is that the body, be it a human body or a tree's body or whatever, is effectively communist because all of the cells and systems in that body have shared fate. This is the concept this is maybe one of the concepts that I find most important from evolutionary biology, that they have shared fate, whereas the trees in a forest have some shared fate, but not wholly shared fate, just as the people in a village or a town or a nation cannot have fully shared fate, whereas all of us on the planet do.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a planetary shared fate, but that's too big to regulate at the same kind of level that we need regulation and good governance and effective governance at the more local scale. But bodies can act. Individual human bodies are effectively communist in a way that that corporations and towns cannot be, because there is incomplete shared fate between the members.
I want to add something to the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Shared fate is very important, but frankly, I'd argue nationally, we have shared fate, right? If we wreck the nation, we're going to be collectively screwed. But there are two things that work in the body's favor in establishing corporal communism, or whatever you would call it. One is the shared fate. And the other is the complete absence of conflicts of interest.
I mean, I put that under shared fate.
They're distinct, right? You can put a bunch of people who might have conflicts of interest in a rowboat, and they might still have shared fate if it goes under, right? But the body, by having a genome that accounts for every cell, means that your liver is more than happy to surrender whatever resources it needs to make your heart function, because it would be suicidal not to.
Okay.
And so
the notable exception, of course, being cancer.
Well, and cancer is basically, I won't say this in every case because there are cancers that are contagious and things, but in general, cancer, if it functions the way we think it does, is incoherent. It's like renegade cells that frankly don't have an interest in being renegade because they create a tumor that, yes, it grows, but it's a dead end. So yes, the body has an overwhelming reason. I mean, the body cooperates to get the gonads into a position that they can actually produce some next generation. That's the game. But they have every reason. Your liver doesn't want to freeze out your eyes. It wants your eyes to have everything they need to make them work great. So anyway, yes.
Yep.
That's the analysis.
That's great.